One of the most common questions I get asked here at Addiction Mindset Recovery Coaching is, Dr. Frank, why don't you ever talk about alcohol? Dr. Frank, why doesn't Addiction Mindset help people quit drinking alcohol? And that's a very, very valid question. Of the addictions that we focus on, nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and pornography, you could easily argue that alcohol is the most toxic of those drugs. When we drink alcohol, it damages our liver because every time we drink alcohol, it produces a byproduct called acetaldehyde, which develops scar tissue in the liver. This is a toxin that your body makes when it breaks down and metabolizes alcohol. This toxin creates damage to your brain, damage to your liver, damage to your heart, literally wreaks havoc upon your body. Alcohol, keep in mind, is ethanol. Alcohol is fuel, motor fuel, that's been adulterated to taste a different way, to make it palatable, to make it enjoyable for some people. But at the end of the day, you are drinking motor fuel. There is no question that this is extremely toxic. And when we look at alcohol, alcohol has a very negative impact on people's risk-taking behaviors. It's involved in a lot of murder incidences. It's involved in a lot of domestic violence incidences. Alcohol is involved in a lot of divorce. It's responsible for a ton of problems. So why don't I talk about that more? Well, the first reason is this. This channel focuses on things that I really struggled with. And ironically enough, for being a guy that could get addicted to staring at paint dry on a wall, I never really had a problem with alcohol. I binge drank in college. I drank way too much in college, but I could always take it or leave it. Alcohol didn't mean anything to me. Weed, nicotine, THC, adult media content. Not only was I addicted to that stuff, I was dependent upon that stuff. That was not the case with alcohol at all in the slightest. What I realized, though, when I was going through my quitting journey, when I decided I wanted to quit smoking weed, quit consuming nicotine, quit watching adult media content, alcohol always seemed to be a trigger. So I'd go out with friends, get lit that night, drink a bunch of alcohol, come back, and boom, instantly I'm craving nicotine. Instantly I'm hitting, a joint, or I'm smoking weed out of a bong. Then to fall asleep, I'm immediately hopping on my phone, watching adult media content, and waking up the next morning and going about my life. What I realized when I was quitting nicotine was every time I drank, I would relapse on something else, weed, nicotine, or adult media content. Alcohol was always the catalyst into other things. I was never just satisfied with the rush of alcohol. I always needed to add to that. I always had to go and get faded. I always had to go get cross-faded, mixing nicotine, alcohol, weed, all those different substances. Because when alcohol would wear off, I'd say, oh, I have to re-up on my high. I have to chase that dopamine down. I have to chase more serotonin down. They call it like the chaser effect. Someone referenced that in one of my video comments. So I identified, okay, if I'm serious about quitting weed and nicotine, for me, I had to stop drinking alcohol. And that's exactly what I did for a period of time. I quit drinking for the most part, probably about for, I don't know, 60 to 90 days, somewhere in that time frame. I really didn't drink at all. Maybe I had one or two alcoholic beverages during that time. And that was the only way I was going to successfully quit nicotine and weed and lay off the adult media. It was the only way. I get drunk, I get buzzed, I make crappy decisions. That's just how it was. Now, going forward, I quit those things. It's been a while. And today, currently, I still do drink alcohol. Not a lot by any means. I'll maybe have 1 to 2 drinks of alcohol a week, sometimes less than that. Here's the problem, though. That bothers me. And it doesn't impact my life in any negative way. It doesn't impact my finances or my relationships or my behavior. Most people I don't even think would think about this. What bothers me about it, though, is I don't see the point in doing it. What's the point in spending $10 on a martini? Now, you could say, Dr. Frank, you're relaxing, you're having fun with friends. And that's true. And drinking is a form of socialization. I understand that. But that doesn't add any value to my dinner. It doesn't add any value to my friendships. It literally offers me nothing. It's a waste of money. And what's bothered me about alcohol is I've told myself a handful of times, I'm not going to get a cocktail at that party. I'm not going to get a cocktail at that person's wedding. I'm not going to drink when we go on vacation. I'm not going to have any alcohol. And I wind up still getting 1 to 2 drinks a week. Now, that bothers me because it's something that I don't need, and it's something that I really don't want to be doing anymore. Why wouldn't I want to do that? Well, when I drink alcohol, I don't get a good night's sleep. I wake up groggy, and even 1 or 2 drinks, I still feel hungover because my tolerance is so low to alcohol. Why would I go out of my way to avoid eating sugar and junk food, to exercise, to take care of myself? Why would I go out of my way and invest all this time and all this money into my health, mentally and physically, to then just go sabotage it with 1 or 2 alcoholic beverages that really do nothing for me? And I think some of that, ironically enough, guys, on this channel, I've said this before, I think it's just holding on to those past times. For some reason, it's holding on to past memories when I did, in fact, have fun with alcohol back in college, back when I was younger. It's like in my brain, it thinks if I drink alcohol, I'm going to recreate those experiences somehow. Those experiences are gone. I don't want to relive those experiences, to be honest, because some of them were just a complete disaster. I'm much better off where I am now. And I personally don't see myself having any type of relationship with alcohol in the future. By definition, I have a very healthy relationship with alcohol. I could take it, I could leave it, drink very minimally. But why bother? I think it's time that I change that. I've been wanting to do it for some time now, and that's going to be the next stage of this process. Now, the content that I make on alcohol is not going to be meant for the hardcore alcoholic or anything like that. This content's going to be for the person who has a few drinks a week, maybe socially, maybe they drink alone, not a lot, they're just getting buzzed, maybe slightly drunk, and they want to stop. This is for your average binge drinker, your average housewife, your average guy that's stressed and having, maybe two beers after work with dinner, who wants to stop. That's what this content's going to be geared for. And I'm going to explain to you guys my experiences as I go through this process. I'm not going to drink. I'm going to stop drinking. Done. It's over. And I'm going to tell you guys about the process and the challenges that I face and where I find the most struggles in this process, which again, it's not going to be some crazy detox. It's not going to be anything like that. It's mostly going to be social situations and how I choose to handle those social situations without having alcohol. So if alcohol's bothered you guys, if it's been on your mind, I'm going to have some other videos about it. So be sure to stay tuned and let me know in the comments below, what do you need to hear about or learn about when it comes to alcohol? Also, check out the description below. That's where I'll see you next, because I put some excellent books in there on quitting drinking alcohol that I've read in the past, because I'm always reading books about addiction recovery. It's what I do. But check out those books. I'll see you guys in the comments in the video description.